Winter is not necessarily the cold season. Right now, there are many hot events in the fashion world. Catwalk shows, debut collections, collaborations, and of course, fashion weeks. In the center of style, on top of the trends, and riding the waves in fashion is Fashion Guide. My name is Natalia Gavrilenko, and today you'll see the grand opening of the Pink Label conceptual fashion store and the debut show from our young designers. We'll tell you about the London and Berlin fashion weeks, Moschino, Oliver Spencer, and Sasha Kovacevic. Also, a special rubric from a fashion persona. Let's see what's inside a Kazakh trendsetter's wardrobe. Should the boutique experience only be about shopping? This is not fashionable anymore. Real fashion boutiques are offering something more. Some brands amaze their clients with fantasy interiors, exclusive furniture, and even museum items, like, for example, Chanel and their famous boutique on Montagne Avenue. Other designers prefer to wow their shoppers with technical editions, as Karl Lagerfeld did in his flagship store, with gadgets and tablets for selfies. Meanwhile, in Kazakhstan, a new conceptual store just opened its doors. Keep watching. Makeup, hair, and shopping. These are the three attractions of the fashion and beauty store that just opened its doors in Almaty. The new tendency in the fashion industry is a combination of different services that offer their clients all they need for a complete makeover. This trend has also found its place in Kazakhstan. I was traveling a lot lately, and I've kind of noticed that right now this tendency, when there is not just a beauty salon, but also a showroom, this is getting more and more popular. Let's just imagine that a woman comes in for a manicure and leaves with a fur coat. So we decided to bring this idea to life. The creators, famous makeup artist and owner of the concept store Aynur Akhmetova and new designer Raushan Jibekova brought the fashion boutique and the beauty salon together. Kazakh fashion lovers are delighted. It seems that this is exactly what Kazakh fashionistas needed. I think that this is great. You come to have your hair done and buy what you need. And it's really cool that you can immediately head off to a party afterwards. That's why I'm so happy about stores like this. The brands on display are mostly by young designers. The founders of the showroom created their own brand called Oblaka. It features classic cocktail dresses, coveralls, and casual shirts. The collection is very light, maybe a little bit childish, a little bit adult. It's varied. In my humble opinion, every girl will like my collection. But of course, there are so many people, so many tastes. There is another new brand featured at the store by the singer Luina, Louis Boom. She started creating clothes a little while ago. She doesn't claim to be a real designer, but her collection immediately gained popularity. This helped her to avoid problems that every young designer has to face. I don't have a defined seasonal collection. It's more like an Instagram shop. And as you can see today, we presented this collection here in Pink Label. I mean, we've made it more real, but we are also working as an Instagram shop. There's always something new. We add something new almost every day. We can now say that Kazakh concept stores have a new model for development. Studios of fashion and beauty like these will only become more and more popular, as in the trend all over the world. Some people say that fashion is only for women. Well, why then is it that this new year there are men's fashion weeks taking place first? Maybe because there's always something special about masculine collections. World Fashion. Here is the review of the world's runways. The string of men's fashion weeks took place in the world's fashion capitals. Let's take a look at London. This city is kind of the motherland of men's fashion. Only on London's runways are the world-famous brands trying to showcase the must-haves for men in the next season. And since we're talking about brave and extraordinary choices, we are definitely talking about Jeremy Scott. Moschino's creative director, famous for his shocking style, suggests that gentlemen try voluminous fur hats, and moonwalker boots. The designer had his models walk down the runway half naked. Naked bodies were covered with patchwork-style capes and sheepskin coats. Bright caps with pom-poms, sock hats made from faux fur, ski glasses, and voluminous boots. Animal motifs were especially well done. The designer used leopard and snow leopard prints, and to accessorize, he went with fur bags and tails. Critics say that Jeremy Scott's aggressive style and his way of combining what can't be combined definitely matches the Moschino fashion house tradition. Famous British designer Oliver Spencer also presented his version of men's autumn and winter images in London. Fashionistas have sustained a love affair with his work from long ago. He always stays true to the traditions of men's fashion, and his clothes are always comfortable. And this season was no exception. Once again, he created a great collection. The Autumn-Winter 2015 collection was created especially for the cold season. Fur, alpaca, and suede not only look good in winter, but can also provide warmth and comfort for every occasion. Besides sweaters, jackets, and cloaks, the designer presented soft pants which he created inspired by simple ski costumes.
Okay, the inspiration behind the collection was David Nash, the English artist, sculptor. I used his charcoaling effect on wood. I thought about greys, I thought about texture. I was just thinking about an English, very simplistic, modern look, but with lots of texture.
The colors, red, brown, dark blue, and mustard, were combined harmoniously, and an unexpected luxurious accent was added with the help of faded brocade with abstract prints. The Berlin Fashion Week was also rich in interesting designer decisions. For example, as in Sasha Kovacevic's collection. He presented his new collection for Sadak on the first day of the Fashion Week, and his show was one of the most interesting. Models walked down the catwalk with an original rhythmic soundtrack, which made it seem like the whole runway was beating like a designer's heart. Sasha's men wore monochromatic black combined with bright orange. Straight masculine lines, inspired by traditional Balkan costumes, were adorned with prints that were popular in India in the 18th century. The Serbian designer lives in Berlin and is inspired by the hip-hop culture of the United States. Kovacevic attempts to combine opposites and create something that unites completely different people.
I live in the Kreuzberg, which is a neighborhood where it's quite mixed from background, Turkish, Arab, Black, everybody lives there. So I do observe people which are living around me, but mostly because of their differences. Not so much interest in their own personal style, but they're like just this, what other culture brings to this environment, which are middle of West, like in Berlin.
Kovacevic is definitely praiseworthy. His collections appear to be whole, united by one idea. Silhouette, colors, prints, and details that change from one image to the next. They are always the center of attention at fashion events and in the lenses of street-style photographers. They are brave enough to combine styles and get 100% great images. They merit high points from fashion critics and become icons for everyone else. Who are they? They are the true fashion personas. Alexander Sakura is a young fashion photographer. He regularly photographs Kazakhstan's best models and show business stars. And he's always seen flawlessly dressed at public events. And that's despite the fact that our connoisseur never took special courses or studied at a fashion academy, and has been a photographer for only a year and a half. He learned everything about trends and style on his own and from books. Today we'll try to understand just how he does it. I love bright, provocative clothing. I find it very interesting. Sasha prefers mostly military and sport chic styles. He says that most of the clothes in his wardrobe were chosen for their comfort. This is necessary in his line of work. And the main thing when selecting an article of clothing is not about how fashionable it is, it's about color. I have lots of prints in clothes, some pictures, some color combinations. The color scheme as a result is very different. Prints, maybe some highlights, and I can't help myself when I see sparkles and tinsel. Despite the constant changes in style, Alexander Sacher doesn't think that he's already found his own signature look. Just the opposite, really. Theoretically, right now I can choose one style and keep wearing it. But it's not what I want right now, what my inner world wants. I want different things, everything. Marcelo Burlon, Lagerfeld, Galliano, and then mix them all. The top 5 items for the fashion photographer? A Karl Lagerfeld watch, various Marcelo Burlon t-shirts, and prints that make the shoulders wider and the whole silhouette an upside-down triangle, which is very good for a man. And my last purchase, golden shoes, a military-style coat, and bright, colorful pants. And despite the fact that this celebrity is new in the fashion world, Alexander Sacher definitely is a perfect fit for the world of fashion. The main thing is not to build boundaries, and not to be afraid to take others as an example. Fashion is not about labels or brands. It's about something that happens inside us. Ralph Lauren used to say that. And that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next episode of Fashion Guide as usual at the same time and place. Stay stylish.